We're back at freeCodeCamp doing the Learn CSS Colors by building a set of colored markers. And here we've got our markers on the right hand side and we're on step 31. So now that you're familiar with secondary colors, we'll learn how to create tertiary colors. So these are created by combining primary with a nearby secondary color. So to create a tertiary color orange, update the RGB function and the class 1 CSS rule so that the red is at max value, and set green to 127. So it's red, green, blue, so it'll be the second one, 127, and there we go, we can see we've got orange at the top. So let's check that code, and that all passes. So step 32, to create orange, had to increase the intensity of red and decrease the intensity of green. This is because orange is a combination of red and yellow, so it falls between the two colors, on a color wheel. If you can imagine that. To create the tertiary color spring green, combine cyan with green. So we just want to update the RGB function of 2, so that green is set at its max value and blue is 127. So the last one here, 127. There you go. We can see we've got spring green. Let's check that. Perfect. So step 33, to create the tertiary color violet, we just want to do the same kind of thing. So blue is at the max value and then red will be 127. And there we go, we've got violet. So those are tertiary colors. Okay, let's submit and go to the next challenge. So step 34, there are 3 more tertiary colors. Is that chartreuse green, so it's green and yellow, azure, blue and cyan, and rose or rosé, red and magenta. So to create the green option, and I don't know how to properly pronounce that, update the RGB function to 1, and then the red is at 127, and the green is at its max value, so 255. And I guess that is chartreuse green. The next one will be 127. So for number 2, green is at 127, so red, green, blue is 127, and then blue will be at 255 at the max. There we go. So that's azure, and then for rose we want blue, so red, green, blue to be 127, and red is at the max value, so 255. And there we go, that is rose. So that should all be good. Cool. So step 35, we've gone through all the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. It'll be easy to understand other color theory concepts and how they impact design. And to be honest, as a front-end sort of developer or engineer, not often sort of thinking about design sort of this detailed, but it's certainly good to know. Normally that's handled by sort of the UI, UX, or design team. So actually learning a little bit here on this new responsive web design certificate. So first in the rules, we want to adjust it so that the background color is set to pure black, and essentially that will just be 0, 0, 0, 0, I believe. There we go. So I'll just copy that down for each of these and do that as well. There we go. So now I'll just do 0 and 0. They should all be black. I think that's what it's asking. Perfect. So they're all reset basically. And then a color wheel is a circle where similar colors or hues are near each other and different ones are further apart. So for example, pure red is between the hues of rose and orange. So 2 colors that are the exact opposite from each other in the color wheel are called complementary colors. And if complementary colors are combined, they create a gray. When they're placed side by side, they produce strong visual contrast and appear brighter. So in the RGB function 1, set the red value to the max, so 255. And for 2, we want to set the blue and green values to 255 to produce cyan. So 255 and 255. There we go. Is that good? Perfect. So step 37, notice that the red and cyan colors are very bright next to each other. This contrast can be distracting if it's overused on a website. And as you can see here, actually, freeCodeCamp, you can see it's really basic in terms of red, as white, black, and then we've obviously got some blues and kind of greys. But yeah, it's quite simple, and often designs will kind of focus on, let's say, one color or two colors, maybe complementary colors, and then just use those as well as white and black, sort of for spacing and whatnot. But anyhow, so yeah, as you can see, that would obviously be quite difficult to use if it was on a website. So the better practice is to use one color as dominant and use the complementary color as an accent. So that's kind of what I was saying there. So for the H1, use the RGB function to set its background color to cyan. So we'll do background dash color, and we want to do RGB. And if you remember, it was 0, 255, 255, and that was the cyan color. So there we go. That should all be good. So step 38, next in the one rule, set the background color to black. So we just want to take away all of the red, and in the 2, set it to red. So we want to do 255, and then these will be 0 and 0, like that. There we go. And step 39, notice how your eyes are naturally drawn to the red color in the center. So when designing a site, you can use this effect to draw attention to important headings, buttons, or links. There are several other important color combinations outside of complementary colors. It looks like we'll learn about those a bit later. So yeah, for now, use the RGB function 2 to set the background color to black. So we're basically resetting everything. So there we go. Let's check that. And next challenge. And finally, step 40, in the H1 rule, remove the background color property and go back to the default white color. So let me actually just remove the whole thing, and there we go. That should then bring it back. There's no background color being applied, and it's just white. Cool. So that's all passed. I think I'll leave it there for this video, so hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.